Hey guys, today we're going to learn about line plots. Alright, so I want you to kind of review what we've already learned in the past. How if I see a number line, you learned this in 3rd grade, you can see that if it has two parts of a whole, that it equals 1/2 in the middle. Okay, if it takes 4 parts to equal a whole, it is fourths. And if it takes 8 parts, it equals 8/8 or 1 whole for this one as well. Okay. Now, we're going to create our number line, and I have this as a reference to help us so that we can see equivalent fractions, okay? So, going into this one, I want to be able to mark all the different parts on the line plot, okay? So, if I don't already have fractions on here, because sometimes you're going to have to create your own as well, I'm going to go ahead and label them. So, I know that this would be 1/8. I know that this would be 2 out of 8 or 1/4 and so on. So just remember in 2nd and 3rd grade you learned about line plots, but today we're going to extend our learning of line plots with fractions. A line plot includes a number line with the x's, and the x's mark the frequency of how often something happens, okay? So what I'm going to do is, if I had a piece of paper in front of me, I would check off each one of these as I move it into the number line, okay? So I see 7/8, and I'm going to take my x, and if you were doing this on paper, you could draw it, but I'm going to take my 7/8, and I'm going to move it over the 7/8, and you can see that that just saves us a lot more time when the number line's already created and marked for us, okay? And then the next one is 2/4. Well, I know that this is 4/8, but as I already created the number line using my template to help me, I know that 2/4 is the same as 4/8, so I'm going to move one of my x's over that, okay? And then I'm just going to finish filling out this line plot. Okay, so I went ahead and placed all of the x's above the fractions that I saw, and I noticed that even though I only saw 4/8 here once, I also had a 2/4 as well as a 1/2, which increased my frequency to be 3, and this was the most frequent one out of all the different fractions, okay? And then I would have had a tie between a few of the other ones with just one occurrence, okay? Now we're going to take our knowledge and use it in a word problem. A seamstress has a bowl full of buttons. She wants to know the size of each button so that the best button is used for each sewing project. Collect the button measurements data and represent it in a line plot. Okay, so in 3rd and 4th grade we have practiced measuring on a ruler up to 1/8 of an inch, and these buttons have already been placed on the line plot for you, okay? So I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons are 6/8 of an inch wide, 2 buttons are 5/8, 1 is 4/8, 1 is 3/8, and 2 are 2/8, okay? So some questions you might see to go along with this line plot that we just saw is how many objects measured 5/8 of an inch long, okay? So I can look up at my chart and I can see that 2 of the buttons would measure 5/8 inches long, okay? Now this is another one. What is the difference between the longest button and the shortest button, okay? Well, my longest button, I can see my number line goes all the way up to 1 inch. However, I don't have any different buttons marked on that, so I have to focus only on the ones that are included in this chart. So I see that my longest button, not just how many times it happened, but my biggest button would be 6/8, and my smallest would be 2/8. Now again, there's nothing on 0 and 1/8, so we have to focus only on the numbers that are on the chart. So 6/8 take away 2/8 would be 4/8, and we can use our fraction tiles to help us with that question. Okay, now using exactly the same question, if all of the objects of all of the buttons were placed end to end, what would the total length of all of the buttons be? Okay, so total lets me know that I want to combine all of the ones that were in our chart, okay? So going back to our last diagram, I saw that 2 buttons were 2/8 of an inch long. Now I've created a second chart that to see that the 2/8 with a fraction tile would look like this, and 2/8. Remember, it was 2/8 twice, so that I'm doing, the fraction tiles to show it. But if I added all of the buttons lengths up, I would get a total of 45/8. Well, let's think about a different way to solve that, okay? Once I combine, let's think of combining these 4/8 plus these 4/8 to make a total of 8/8, and we know that 8/8 makes one whole. If I combine all of my 8/8, if I take my 45 pieces and I decompose them into 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 5/8, I would get a total of 5 and 5/8. So again, we're going to link some fraction tile websites to help you support and understand if you get a question like this. Let's try a different word problem. The students at Pine Elementary School measured the rainfall for the months they were in school. The data they collected is displayed in the table below. Use the data to create a line plot and answer the following questions, okay? So we're going to be using this chart to be able to create the line plot, which I've already done for you. I want you to notice that I've already created equivalent fractions so that I know that 2/8 is the same as 1/4. And I know that 4/8 is the same as 2/4 is the same as 1/2, and so on, okay? Now, I'm going to take each one of these and plot them with an X. When I see them on the chart, I plug them with an X on here. So I have 1 1/8 twice. April and August both have 1 1/8. Okay? Now, some questions using this data chart and our line plot might be, which amount of rain had the most frequency or happened the most? Now, when I say happened the most, that means I see the frequency or the most number of X's above it, okay? So looking at our chart, I can see that there's some big numbers, but I'm looking for the one that happened the most number of times. So I see that there are 3 X's over 7/8. So my answer for the first one would be 7/8 would be the most frequent number, okay? How much rain fell in September and January altogether? Well, remember, all together means to put them together, to add them together, okay? So when I go up to September, I can see that it's 1/2. And when I go to January, it's 3/8. Well, I notice that those have different denominators, so I'm going to use my chart to help me. 3/8 and 1/2. Well, there's 1/2, and if I look above it, an equivalent fraction would be 4/8. So 3/8 plus 4/8. Well, if I keep my denominator the same, 3 plus 4 equals 7/8, okay? So how much rain fell between the 2 months together? It would be, again, 7/8, and that was just a coincidence. My last question says, what is the difference between the wettest and driest months, okay? So the wettest means the amount that fell the most, okay? So go into my chart. I know that 2 holes would be my largest number and 0 would be my smallest number, but I have to again focus on only where the X's happened, okay? So my largest amount would be 1 2/8, and that would be my wettest month, the number that had the most amount, and we've had a lot in this last month, so you probably have a connection to that. And then my driest month means the one that happened the least, the smallest number, okay? So 3/8 on here is my smallest number with an X. So I'm thinking to myself, 1 2/8 take away 3/8, okay? Well, in the past, we've used fraction tiles to help us, and we've also used number lines. I'm going to show you 2 ways to solve this problem. 1 2/8, take away 1/8 would be 1 1/8. Take away 2/8 would be 1 whole. Take away 3/8 would be an answer of 7/8, okay? Now let's try it with fraction tiles. I know that my answer is 7/8, but let's prove it and see why. All right, so here's my Kidspiration program, and I see here's my 1 whole and 2/8, like we've practiced before with fraction tiles, and I need to take away 3/8. Well, I noticed there is only 2/8 that are easily available to take away. So I need to convert my whole number into fractions, okay? So I'm showing this bar to represent the 1 whole, and I'm going to fill it with my 1/8, okay? So I know that 1 whole is equivalent to 8/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the 2 I already had. So now you can see that I have 10/8 is equivalent to the same size as 1 whole and 2/8. And I'm going to cross out 3 of my 8s to match my subtraction problem. And I see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths remains. So going back to our problem, I can use the number line to subtract 1 and 2/8, take away 3/8, or I can use fraction tiles to help me as well. Okay? Have a great day.